Back on the grid ahead of our Honda Cadet final, we'll quickly catch up with overtake winner and pole sitter, Ralphie. Ralphie, how are you feeling ahead of this race?
I'm feeling very nervous and just hope I can do it.
And who would you say, in your opinion, is your biggest competition ahead of this race?
Well, you got Kevin, Ryan, Ed and Archie Loveridge is all just pushing us down the straight.
Best of luck to you, Ralphie. We'll head up back to the comms box to introduce the race.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Ready for the second final here this afternoon at PF International. It is Honda Cadet's GX200 ready to go racing. And Henry,
yes.
Good amount of experience on this grid. Number of drivers on this one who were here last season, including the champion from last year and the winner of the last Honda Cadet British Championships final here at PF International, Ryan White.
Yeah, but I love the authenticity. You know, he said, yes, you're right, Andrew. You know, plenty of experience on the grid, but then, you know, when Nicole asked Ralphie how you feeling, I'm feeling really nervous because, again, these are just 8 to 12-year-old drivers. How many other sports in the world do you get an 8-year-old speaking to a global audience seconds before they go out for a national level final? Kelly White saying lots of love to Ryan White from Mam, from Casey and all the rest of the family watching at home. Ambition Motorsport, hashtag Blue Army. That's there is race director, one of our race directors, Dan Ashton, centre of the screen, green flag in hand. He will give the drivers a signal. We will still have a rolling lap, I believe. And then they will stop and they will, and it'll be a standing start. Only 13 drivers, but I got a feeling this could be a very, very special race indeed. Now, here's the last question. We've had one final out of 5 decided by 100th of a second.
Yep.
How many other finals, we got 4 including this with the go, is going to be decided by less than 1 second? I don't reckon we're going to have a final decided by more than 1 second all day. There's my prediction. 5 finals out of 5, all decided by less than a second. Your thoughts, Andrew, and then your thoughts, viewers, on the live chat, please.
I'm going to say hello to Maz, cheering on Margaret Kavekis. Here is your grid. Ralphie Branscombe starts on pole position. Can he repeat the win that he had last time out at the O Plate at Wilton Mill? He's joined on the front row of the grid by the reigning Honda Cadet GX200 champion, Ryan White. Archie Loveridge starts on row 2 alongside Margaret Kavekis in his first final in the British Kart Championships. Ed Spain and Kevin Ivanov on row 3. Archie Cannon and Riley Blakemore on row 4.
Harry Grant, worst mechanic in the world and all, on the Project 1, starts 9th alongside Esme Rosie, Shay Hilton and Kian Sullivan on the British Racing Karts, the BRK chassis, and Jayan Prakash. So, 1 minute 7.91 for Jayan Prakash. Can the youngster, the least experienced driver in the field, he's been running at the back, can he improve on his personal best lap time in this last race? Gemma Crosby saying good luck Archie Cannon from teammate Luke McGaw and family. Andrew Pierce, keep pushing Harry Grant. 0.2 is what we're going to get this race decided by. David Whitehouse saying 1 final decided by more than a second, and it's going to be senior road tax.
Ooh, that's a different choice.
Have you been drinking, Dave? Have you been watching the senior road tax racing, David? Come on now. You could do, in the words of Chris Sutton on Radio 5 Live, you could do better than that.
So this is race 25 on the schedule for this weekend at PF International. Andrew Mather and Henry Baudet on commentary duties for you this weekend. Honda Cadet GX200, always great fun commentating on these races. Henry, the drivers coming into their starting positions now.
Yes.
Branscombe versus White, Loveridge versus Kavekis. See, I feel like we've had so many stories with this group of drivers already, and we're only at round 1 of 4.
They are indeed. It is Branscombe, pink crash helmet, left-hand side of your screen, just adjusting his visor. making sure that the vents on the front of his crash helmet are open clearly. On the outside, Ryan White, visor down, reflecting in the sunshine, which has covered this corner of Lincolnshire this afternoon. And Dan Ashton, we will wait. There is the green flag. Attention now turns to the starting gantry. Red lights are on. Red lights are out. We're off and racing. Branscombe gets a decent start, but Ryan White from the outside of row 1 gets the whole shot.
Really good start there from Ryan White. Immediately takes the lead. Branscombe into second place. Good start as well for Margaret Kavekis is up to third place. They run up onto the bridge then for the first time. It's 15 minutes plus 1 lap once again for the Honda Cadet field. But immediately after that great start by Ryan White, he's being reeled in. This is what we come to expect in Honda Cadet. This early stage, all about these drivers just getting into a nice rhythm and keeping themselves as part of the discussion.
Yeah, this race is going to look like a multi-coloured 4-stroke slinky. They're going to expand and then they're going to contract. They're going to expand and then they're going to contract. As White leads into the Fullerton S's. There's the leader of the Blue Army, Ed Spain, as Branscombe runs a little bit wide onto the grass blocks as they head down the back straight into Bobby Gain corner. And now the Mike Wilson complex. And here we go, out of the Mike Wilson complex. Oh, Branscombe runs a little bit wide, but that's going to give him a good run through the final chicane onto the start-finish straight. Let's see if Branscombe can tow up. You can see the gap there as they cross the start-finish line. Look at the slipstream. By the time he gets to the first corner, he's literally touching the rear bumper of Ryan White.
Well, Branscombe's had the full haul of points so far this weekend. 65 from his performance in the heat, 65 from the pre-final earlier on. So doesn't necessarily need to win this race to lead the championship, but I don't think he's going to be thinking of that right now. He wants the race win this afternoon. Here comes Kevin Ivanov, who took the checkered flag first of the drivers at the O-Plate, but had that 5-second penalty, which handed the title of O-Plate winner to Ralphie Branscombe, who had that opportunistic move for second on the road on that last lap. I still think, for me, Henry, that number 50 in race trim is the fastest kart. Was the fastest package here this weekend. Could see him up to third.
I think you could be right, and what Kevin Ivanov has got to try, he's got to tame the package. You know, he's got a very, very quick package underneath him, but it's then making those right decisions and not overdoing things and pushing the envelope when it doesn't need to. And sometimes, you know, instead of trying to go and force the issue, you know, let the engine do the work for you. And there he goes, up into P2, clean as a whistle. Branscombe back to third. White still leads.
Well, he's up to second place now. That's where Ivanov finished the race last year in the 2023 edition of the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. Their last visit here to Lincolnshire. 12 minutes and 10 seconds to go, though. Still a lot of time to run. Change further back in the order. Harry Grant has got past Shea Hilton for 11th place. Bright start as well for Keane Sullivan to report. Has gained 3 positions so far. Is up to 9th. Good work there. After a difficult start this weekend.
Yes.
Having a retirement. Well, effectively, it did not start in the first round of heats.
Yes, and it just goes to show, even in a small grid like this, if you have one bad result, it does take time to work your way back up into a prominent position. There is the, that graphics kit, the Sharp International Transport, the Jamie and Joe Sharp's team company that have been in karting for a long, long time. And of course, Jamie, a Walter Hayes trophy. No, not Walter Hayes, a Brands Hatch Formula Ford Festival winner. Jamie Sharp. That kart looks like it's Jamie, JM Prakash. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, JM Prakash updates. New personal best lap, 107.88, and it's only lap 3. Well done, Jayan.
Yeah, really good performance there from Jayan, learning all the time here this weekend. We spoke to him at the O-Plate, and looking forward to see how he develops across the course of 2024. Fastest driver on the circuit. We'll come back to that, because here's a move for the lead. Ivanov trying to go down the inside through the Fullerton S's. White was wise to that one. These two finished in this order back in October, the last time the drivers were here for the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. Branscombe still there in third, Spain fourth, Loveridge having a quiet race at the moment there in 5th place. Here goes Ivanov again. Can he get it done? Into the Bruno Ferrari S's. Yes, he can. And here comes Branscombe looking to the outside now as they go under the bridge. Going for 2nd place, but wise positioning there from Ryan White. He holds it to 2nd place, but new leader, and his name is Kevin Ivanov.
And Ed Spain moving into 3rd position with an excellent move just after the move for the lead. Ed Spain at the inside of the banking into P3. And look at that, almost the whole field, 9 out of the 13 karts are, well, you could fit them all on a postage stamp. They're so close together. Coming down the short chute, there's Cian Sullivan at the back of the lead train. What did we say? We've been taught, all it's been is Rotax, Rotax, Rotax. Are the Hondas going to steal a march and produce the race of the day?
Well, quite possibly. Still very close here with a good number of laps remaining. Coming around to complete lap number 5. Ivanov, I think he's just going to pace himself here. Wants to make sure that he's quick at the end of these races and just hold everybody at a Honda Cadet arm's length. Has the rest of the field.
Arm's length in Honda Cadet is about 3 millimeters.
Yes.
Yeah. As they go over the bridge. And you can see even in the top 9, there's the next 3 drivers, 10th, 11th and 12th. Harry Grant, Esme Rosie and Shea Hilton. They're next in line. And you know what? They're not far off the lead. We could have 12 out of the 13 drivers all battling for the race win.
Included in that, I think I'm going to throw in the number 42 of Archie Cannon. Archie having arguably the strongest race of the number 42's weekend so far. It's just gone fastest of anyone, a 1 minute 5.9. Battle side by side through the Fullerton S's once again between Spain, Branscombe and Loveridge. This is an opportunity now. There's a bit of a gap between White there in 2nd place and Spain in 3rd, but just as soon as we've said that, the gap closes back in again. The slinky effect showing itself once again at the end of lap number 6, but it's another lap down for Kevin Ivanov, doing all he can do right now, leading this race and controlling the pace.
Now the second of the multi-blue coloured Ambition Motorsport kart has moved into 7th place. That's Riley Blakemore. I know Riley's nan and granddad are watching. How do I know that, Andrew? Because they put it in the live chat. Yeah, there we go. I should have said because I'm psychic and I know these things. I can sense them, but no, they put it in the live chat. Young Riley, he's doing an excellent job, and I love that. Nan and Granddad, the next time that Nan sees Riley, what the Nans do, they sort of like slip you a $5. They say, don't tell your mother and father. It's like they're doing some sort of drug deal. They slip you a $5 and say, there you go, lads. Don't tell your mum and dad. Well, he could earn more than a $5 if he keeps on marching his way up the order, because he is just behind the number 15 kart of Margaris Kavekis, and 1.5 seconds separating the top 9.
Indeed. So we're into the second half on the time of this 15-minute plus 1 lap final. Live coverage of the Honda Cadet GX200 final here at PF International. Still Ivanov leading from White, Spain, Branscombe, Loveridge. They're all just keeping themselves in play right now. It's the top 9 covered by 1.5 seconds. Good scrap going on further down between Harry Grant, Esme Rosie and Shea Hilton. But now it's started to get a little bit more boisterous out there. It's a bit wide for Ryan White. Here's Branscombe looking down the inside, but no, just in the end, settles back into 4th place. I think that's quite a wise move there from Ralphie Branscombe. It would have needed to have been a big stop on the brakes to get it locked down for 3rd place ahead of Ed Spain with a lot of risk. Yeah,
like I said yesterday, this is, the word on the street is this is a ruddy great rumpus. This is, I have to say, Ivanov looking over his shoulder, White and then Spain sitting there, Branscombe in 4th position, followed by Archie Loveridge. Then it's Kavekis. Followed by Blakemore, Cannon and Sullivan. Every once in a while, Cian Sullivan looks like he's falling off this lead group. He's now actually passed Blakemore and Archie Cannon, but the top 6 are threatening to break away from 7th, 8th and 9th. There we go, 2, 4, 6. In fact, the top 5 with Margaris Kavekis running the risk now of losing touch. We've still got just under 6 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
Well, it's a familiar situation for Kavekis. We saw this in the pre-final. We saw him be able to hold himself in there and take opportunities later on in the race. 5.5 minutes remaining to go. Warning flag for the number 68. That's Riley Blakemore currently in 8th place. Oh, look at this, side by side towards the Fullerton S's. Very close between Spain and Branscombe. Here's the opportunity surely for Loveridge now with a bit of an assist from behind as away and gone now are Ivanov and White. They could keep this formation going because a big gap now to third that's emerged. I think Archie Loveridge at the front of it. Yes, indeed. Look, Keir Sullivan, all of a sudden is in the top 5.
And I got to say, if we look back, that could be the moment that decides the top 2. That could be the moment of the race. Going into Ed Spain, Ralphie Branscombe, slowing each other down, slowing everybody down. And in the space of one corner, look at the gap that has developed between Ivanov, White and the rest. It's over 1.5 seconds. They're still tripping over each other. Ed Spain has fallen right back to the tail end of this second group of karts now. Frederick Chang on the live chat. Again, these drivers are 8 to 12 years old. Hard to believe. There's Keir Sullivan, who has now sort of moved himself into a position where he can fight for the final step of the podium. But one thing is that Ryan White in second place, he's moving to within 5 points of Ralphie Branscombe in the championship lead.
Well, again, we've seen over the years that 1.4 seconds, it's a decent battle buffer, but not insurmountable. So for Loveridge, Branscombe, Sullivan, they've got to believe right now that they can close in on Ivanov and White with the time remaining, and there's the best part of 4 minutes of it still on the clock. That's what you need if you're Ralphie Branscombe. New fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 5.69. That last lap, that pace was half a second quicker than that of Ivanov and White. So do the maths. Less than 2 second gap. There's going to be more than 4. Oh, now what's that? Is that a piece of debris?
Oh, it's a chain guard.
Now the question is,
who's
chain guard? Because that is going to result in a mechanical flag for somebody. Now, did it come off one of the front leaders? We're having a look out of our window.
Oh, someone is about to get their heart broken because a chain guard is a mechanical flag. Let's have a look as they come out of this. So there's Ivanov and Branscombe.
Oh, it's off White. It's Ryan White.
Oh dear, it's a plain white chain guard. It's a non-branded chain guard for the privateer driver. Is it game over for Ryan White? Well, obviously we can say something. He's looking down. He knows. What does he do? And that could get, well, that's, you think to yourself, oh, that's great news for Kevin Ivanov. No, because Ryan White's going to have to pit, and then Ivanov's going to be all on his own. Nobody is going to be pushing him along, and Branscombe and Loveridge will be trying to work together to close in. Hand in the air from Ryan White, chain guard off. Oh, devastation for Ryan White. The defending and reigning British champion will not win this one, and that will push him. He was second in the point standings. He will have a little... It was, oh, dearie me. Never mind.
The motorsport gods have not smiled down favourably on Ryan White today. He'll see the body. In fact, he knows. Yeah, hand in the air. Well, you've got to give it to Ryan White. Pits in, follows the instructions of the officials straight away. That's good sportsmanship.
So now we look at the gap there. Oh, no. And again, I know Nicole Sutherland is down there, but these are 8 to 12-year-olds, and you don't want to shove a camera in their face when obviously, the disappointment is. But now, here's the key. Branscombe and Loveridge started this lap 0.6 of a second behind Ivanov. Ivanov is on his own. Branscombe and Loveridge are literally super glued together and trying to work up, and they're going to catch him before the end of this lap.
Yeah, they took 0.5 of a second out of Ivanov last time around. So, yeah, the gap's going to go on this lap if the progress continues. Another bit of improvement for Archie Cannon. Has just got past Riley Blakemore for 7th place, but we're going to hold here at the front of the order. 1 minute on the clock here at PF International. Kevin Ivanov has led so many laps of this Honda Cadet GX200 class either here this weekend at PF International or 3 weekends ago at Wilton Mill, but hasn't tasted victory yet in 2024. He looks over his shoulder. He sees his Zip Factory teammate Archie Loveridge right there. There's going to be 2 more laps, and there's a communication. There it is. Ivanov and Loveridge started like this. There was 0.01 second between them on lap time in the first timed free practice of the weekend. They know the strategy. Work together, push together, drop Ralphie Branscombe, and then fight for the win on the final lap.
Well, privateer drivers such as Ralphie Branscombe, privateers have won 42 finals in the modern era. To break that record, to move on to 43, Branscombe will have to beat not 1 but 2 Zip Karts, and of course the number 42 synonymous with Zip Karts and the late great Martin Hines. Sometimes there is poetry within numbers and statistics, but Zip on their way potentially to a 4th win of the modern era. But Branscombe is there, and we know Branscombe can really manage the last lap of a race. And Ivanov is going to be thinking, lightning can't strike 3 times. Just get through the last lap, which starts now without getting a penalty.
Indeed, so the final lap border, you've got to give it to Ralphie Branscombe. In that second half of the penultimate lap, he was closing in. This is a key phase. Ivanov and Loveridge keeping this formation for Zip Factory team off of the bridge. Branscombe, how on earth is he doing this? The physics tell us it shouldn't be possible for the single driver to be closing in the pair ahead of him, but that's exactly what Ralphie Branscombe is doing. We've seen Ivanov and Loveridge hold position in races before this weekend, but this is different. This is a final. This is for a win in the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships to go into the history books here at the Premier Circuit in the country. Into Bobby Game corner they go. They're still holding this formation.
Branscombe.
Branscombe's gone down the inside on Loveridge for second place. That's good news if you're Kevin Ivanov, because that's going to take any opportunity for Loveridge to attack away. Kevin Ivanov comes round the final corner and this time takes a checkered flag and will win in Honda Cadet GX200 at PF International, second here last year. It's the first place trophy for the number 50. It elevates him to 3rd in the championship scores. It's a Zip Factory 1-2. Ivanov from Loveridge, Ralphie Branscombe finishing in 3rd.
Memories of O-Plate heartache fade to insignificance as Ivanov celebrates his first British Championship win, a 4th for the Zip Factory team, and it's a 1-2 finish for Earl and Tuesday Hines' boys, with O-Plate champion Ralphie Branscombe finishing 3rd and holding on to the early season championship lead. Margaris Kavakis finishes 4th. Cian Sullivan, a great result for Cian to finish 5th. And then the Blue Army, Ed Spain, Riley Blakemore 6th and H, Archie Cannon 7th, another privateer, Shay Hilton, Harry Grant, Esme Rose and Jayan Prakash with his fastest lap of the weekend in the final. Rounds out the finishers, poor old Ryan White. Oh, no. Ivanov, he wanted a park in front of the number 1 plate, but Arthur Farrow still got his go-kart there. Now, you would have thought with the 874 people that Dan Holland Racing have got here, one of them would have moved his go-kart. But anyway, enough of that. Nicole Sutherland, our lady on the spot, take it away.
What a race by our Honda Cadet grid. They're some of the youngest drivers at this event, but still put on a fantastic show. We'll just catch up with second place Archie. Archie, are you happy with that result?
Yeah, very.
Can you tell us a little bit about the race? We saw you and Ralphie were having a nice battle. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was quite good.
And have you got anybody to thank for this weekend?
My mum and dad.
Great, thanks.
And it Kart.
Thanks, Archie. We'll just go over to race winner as well, Kevin Ivanov. Kevin, we saw you unfortunately had a bit of bad luck at the O-Plate after such a strong performance, but this weekend you've definitely redeemed that. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling great. I don't know what I would have done without my teammate.
And so the next event is Larkall. Do you reckon you can replicate the same result there?
I mean, hopefully. I've never been there, but I'll try my best.
Is there anybody you'd like to thank for this weekend?
I would like to thank my mum, my dad, Zip Kart Factor and my teammates, and RPM Engines.
Congratulations, Kevin. Provisional winner for this weekend. We will be heading over to our next final of the day, but before then, we'll just catch up on some highlights.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Indeed, let's have a look at some of the highlights from that Honda Cadet GX200 final. This was the start, a great one for Ryan White. Straight from P2, immediately taking the lead ahead of Ralphie Branscombe. Clean start for all of the runners. But as always with the Honda Cadet final, getting the start is one thing, staying in the lead is very much another.
Yeah, indeed. I was going to say, look at the highlights. Have you got a 12 minutes or so to spare? Because that was one non-stop highlight reel. The race ebbed and flowed wonderfully. You know, like we said, the slinky effect. The gaps will grow, but then the nature of four-stroke racing and the wonderful, the beauty of these simple Honda. Well, they're simple. In karting terms, they're simpler to look after, to maintain, but there's still a real dark art to get him to move quickly. There, Ivanov and Leverage moving together, and occasionally, you know, I thought there was going to be absolute chaos going into, you know, into the Fullerton S's, but fair play to these drivers, especially here. Look how close Branscombe and White were to coming together there. But that's the moment that sort of allowed White and Ivanov to escape initially. But then, and Cross-Eyed Lion on the live chat has spotted there's a chain guard wobbling. It was Weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down. Well, in this case, it fell off.
Yeah, and that would be the end of Ryan White's race. There it was. There was the errant chain guard that Ralphie Branscombe was very lucky to meet with the front bumper there, and not anything that would have been damaged by that hit with the chain guard. That was the reaction of Ryan White. Wanted to go back to back here at PFI with round wins in Honda Cadet GX200. It wasn't to be. But that's an overdue victory, I'd say, Henry. Kevin Ivanov has been fantastic so far whenever we've seen him race in 2024.
Correct.
A fully deserving winner here at PFI.
And yes, well, the little wee Ryan, he'll be back at the next round of the Honda Championship. Branscombe made the move for second, and I'm not sure if Branscombe hadn't have made that move, but whether they would have maybe been able to, a bit of a drag race to the line, winning margin 0.4 of a second.